Hello guys, and yeah, just a quick one really regarding, I wanted to do this video last Saturday night and I started jotting some stuff down for today's video really, because after last Saturday I felt like I needed to do this video, and I felt like I wanted to do this video because I just want to have my opinion about this, and it's football safety and security. It's ridiculous. These last few weeks regarding incidents with players getting assaulted and, fans going onto the pitch, unnecessarily. It's ridiculous, with the Jack Grealish incident, Aston Villa players could have quite easily turned around and kicked the crap out of him. They could have quite easily have done that, but they didn't. And the one thing I respect to that is they didn't react, which was a good thing. The other thing was Stockport last week, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out my video. The Stockport filed one last weekend. It was a fantastic game, but it was overshadowed by a lot of controversy. Anyway, when I started to jot this down, and I started to have a look at how many, what UEFA and FIFA and even the FA want, how many stewards and police they want at games. So they broke it down. Category A is like sort of let's say you're less likely to have a barmy. So they would have probably 12 police officers present in the ground. And a Category C, which is the highest, they'll have 200 to 300 officers on patrol. They'll be outside the ground, inside the ground. And last Saturday was no question. It was a Category C game. It was a semi-final. Look, there was nearly 7,000 at Edgeley Park, and the one thing that annoyed me the most was there was so many fans down at the bottom that was not sectioned and it wasn't steward right, and they didn't marshal. They could have. There was quite a few seats. There's quite a few seats in the other stands, and they could have quite easily gone and sat there, but they didn't. And what it meant was there was so much congestion that the stewards couldn't do any. They couldn't do anything more. They couldn't handle it. Now, when you actually look at the stewards and you think there's a very different turn of what stewards like. They could be the one thing they don't do sometimes. And if you go next time you go to a football game, look at them. But don't be discreet. My top tip: be discreet. Look at what they're doing. They'll probably watch. Some of them are probably watching the game, or they'll probably be watching a section of the crowd that isn't gonna harm, and they're not focusing on what other areas is. Now, when I've drawn an experience, I've tried to look at an experience, and for instance, before the channel, I went to watch Rotherham versus Doncaster, big South Yorkshire derby. And the one thing that was really good was when they handed us over, there was some BTP on the train going towards. There was BTP at Doncaster station, and there was BTP on the train and getting us off at Rotherham, and they handed us over to the proper armed police. And what was good was they surrounded us around, making sure no home fans could actually get at us. And they got us into the ground very safely. And I felt safe. As an away fan, I felt safe because, I was taken care of, and there was no incidents regarding that. And you saw it, there was very good stewarding that day from home. In the home end it was brilliant, in the away end it was good. Everything went off like a hoot. You come out, and what they did was the police anticipated there was going to be a fight or a barmy, whatever it was, and they literally sectioned off towards the train station, and the home fans could come up and shout whatever abuse they wanted. And there was police there, so if they threw anything, then arrested straight on the spot. And what was good and what you felt safe is when you actually came and you actually turned left to actually come over the bridge, there was a section of police horses with riot police, and at the other end of the bridge, there was another set of police horses and riot police, and it stopped the fans, and it was good because, well, if there wasn't, there would be World War III on that bridge. But it made me feel safe. But when you actually see it and you actually look at the stewards, and some of them aren't as tough, when you actually see like a scrawny kid, no offence to any of the stewards, but when you actually see them and you actually see a 6'4" brick house running at you with, the intention of trying to hurt you or in trying to hurt the players, it's no laughing matter. It's they're not as tough, and really there should be better training on how to handle them situations. There should be, because if that's the case, you will stamp down a lot of crime and, well, not crime, but crime, but violence towards players and also stewards. Now, what didn't help last Saturday was the Fylde players antagonising some of the Stockport fans and a couple of them bit. But what the thing was is, the rest of the 6,000 at Edgeley Park stayed in their seats. They voiced their anger in their chairs, but they had no intentions of going onto the pitch. There was just a couple of minority fans that wanted to do that and bits. But it was such a shame because it was a fantastic game. Now, what could be, what I've sort of jotted down is when you actually look at like the San Siro, the Allianz Arena, the Nou Camp, you see they've got netting behind the goals. And, in certain cases, it has prevented, of course, the ball hitting fans, but also it has prevented fans from actually getting onto the pitch. And when you actually see at the sides, there is more stewarding around that side, and in those type of situations, there's been less and less fans. They've been trying to cause violence. But what can be done? Like what can be done to prevent these situations? Now, I've jotted a few down. Look, the first thing is I know you can't police every single. Excuse me. I know you can't police every single area of the ground. Now, for instance, we'll go back to the Jack Grealish incident. There was a good 30,000 there last couple of weeks ago, and I know you can't police every single part of the St Andrews, but there should have been a little bit more vigilant stewards and coming into. Look, they did eventually, and it was good that they carted them out of the stadium. But what there should be is maybe that they should be stricter when it comes to searches if they've got any weapons on them, or maybe when they've got the ticket, they scan it, because a lot of these stadiums now have these scanners and you can scan the barcode and you can go in. Maybe there should be a bit where they should have a face recognition. So maybe in a control centre, a high rank security or police have got this. And a bit like you see what they have on a night out. If you ever go on a night out and there'll be certain situations where they've got this face recognition thing, and maybe they'll scan your ID or maybe scan something, and you've got a face recognition thing, it can prevent. If it flags up that you've been known to have, that's caused problems before having history. It can flag it up. Now they've got this Section 60 as well, which they stop and search people. Now, if you want a good series, go and watch Danny Dyer's Real Football Factories, and go and watch the section with Yorkshire. Now they talk about this very much in the video, in the video, and it's very good when you actually look and you actually try and find some stuff about having to prevent people from causing violence at football grounds, and protecting players, protecting other fans, of course, and protecting stewards, because they're the ones for your safety. But what can be done? I mean, I want to know what your guys' opinions are, and I want to know if you want to discuss with me about how you would prevent football violence. Leave a comment and I will read them all. And I'll try and reply to all of them because why not? And I'd love to see them. Of course, if you're new around here, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel as well. If you don't know what I'm talking about with Stockport, go and watch the Stockport video from last weekend. And there will be a new match day this Saturday. I'm going to be in the Northwest for that, so whatever happens with that, we'll see you then. Okay. See you Saturday, everybody. Bye.